Is Etheria restart pay to win trash or free to play friendly? Let's try to answer that question today because we are at the end of the final test in which you can spend money, a lot of money, to clear out a shop and to get ahead of everybody else in the final test. If you look at the final ranking of the arena, there are some very strong players known for their bottomless wallet, but there's also the big bad Vulcan. You can check out his YouTube channel. I think he played this game a little bit here and there. He is in the top rank of the arena, and he is also in very high rank of the more pay to win mode, the Summit Arena as well. So if you look at the rank, Vulcan is, I remember, somewhere up in the top as well. Vulcan, where you at? Oh, they reset the points today. I'm back into like silver. So Vulcan's probably somewhere, but he was very high rank as well. And I'm very sure there are more free-to-play players hiding in all the top ranks of the PvP content. So there is a chance for low spender or free-to-play player to actually dominate in the early part of Etheria restart because everyone can refresh the same amount of time of stamina at the start, and because the game will shower you with gem. So if you want to, you can max out stamina refresh in the early part of the game and compete with the whale at the same pace. However, in the long run of Etheria restart, I can 100% say that the game will be pay to win, because if you pay a lot of money in Etheria restart, you can confidently max refresh stamina without worrying about summoning at all, because you will still have so much summoning currency from all the pack that you buy, and you can keep doing this every single day. And there's also another rumor being passed around that dupes doesn't really matter in RTA. They do. Unfortunately for free-to-play player, they do. But the good thing is none of the dupes are super crazy. They don't give you extra speed. They do make building the character easier. For example, Messiah get crit and crit damage, or support character getting more healing done and effect resistant. But I think the most important dupe is gonna be at the end, which is the increased damage dealt and decreased damage taken by the enemy. So that'll be really amazing to get, but it is like the last dupe that you need to get. So that's like the Giga Whale territory for almost every character that they own. And also, by buying gem constantly, they can afford to summon on the rarer, the limited LD. Well, can I say limited? Because they're also available in the standard banner, but they can afford to spend the gem to summon on the apex animals and summon them. And they are arguably some of the strongest PvP character in the game. And I think this is where the game tried to make the most money, which is to get the whales to summon these extra rare character. Because when I look around in the shop, there are not many ways for the game to really make money, and the goal of this game is not to make free-to-play player happy. The goal of the game at the very end of the day is to make as much money as possible while providing you a great gaming experience. So they gotta make money somehow. If it's not via gem refreshes, if it's not via selling packs of shell and module, they gotta push the whale to summon on the apex animal character. But the fact that every character is available in the standard banner together with the new limited character that is also instantly put in the standard banner, that is pretty amazing to say the least. Because you can also luck diff your free-to-play friend. You are free-to-play, but oops, you either reroll for the cool apex character or you happen to summon a couple one just by playing the game. So by whaling more, you will undeniably get ahead of everybody else because you can farm more, you get more character, you can play with many different things, and you will win, right? But not really. If that is the case, I don't think Vulcan will be so high in the arena leaderboard like how he did. The knowledge that you have is also very important. The way that you farm, the way that you use all your resources is also going to be very important in the global launch, because once again, you cannot max out more than 10 refreshes. So even if you whale thousands of dollars into the game, you cannot just endlessly farm compared to other game in the genre. So comparing this game to like Epic 7 or Summoners or Raid Shadow Legends, in those games you can farm until you die. Literally, if you have the money to afford, you can spend up to $100 a day just on farming if your team is fast enough to clear the content. However, unfortunately, you cannot do that in this game. This game, in my opinion, can be both very pay to win and free to play friendly at the same time. Very weird, I know, but let me explain. There are a couple conscious choices that the dev had to make to limit the pay to win factor of the game. First, there is no pack that straight up sell you speed gear, which is a huge bonus in the early game. You can sell so many mythic speed gear and instantly get quad speed gear in all of your fast character, get the right damage gear on your damage dealing character, and you will destroy the free to play player instantly if the dev decide to sell gear in the cash shop. But there are a couple gear hidden in certain pack, like let's say the level 40 pack, they give you a Fury gear set, but it is, I would say, not really too important. This will probably help you in PvE more than anything if you decide to buy this to boost your Victor or Messiah or whatever damage dealer you are using to make them hit a bit harder in the PvE part of the game. But they could have sold speed gear separately for a low price of 50 bucks, and I think everywhere will be buying that immediately. There's also no shell pack because the shell actually make a huge difference in PvP. Using the right shell on your character is very important, and mythic shell like Gigabyte will soon be very annoying in the early PvP part of the game if you don't have some and the enemy have things like Alicorn or Gigabyte. Their utility is incredible, and the stat they can bring to the table is also on a whole nother level compared to the lower tier shell. But once again, there's no plan to sell any shell pack or gear pack in the cash shop yet, because you never know, right? Let's say the game is still free to play friendly and they're not making enough money, and the shareholder come down to the dev team be like, you fucking idiot, make some cash, and they have to start selling gear pack and shell pack. I wouldn't be surprised, but if that day comes, I can just laugh and clap, pretty much. But so far in the final test, I don't see any free-to-play player complain about being locked out of a certain content because they don't have a one specific rare character. You can play all the content here up to the highest difficulty with the SR character that you're going to put in. Some SR character are really good. For example, in the model drop, if you go to the hardest stage or the next to the hardest stage, you can still see the relevance of many SR character that must be used so that you can clear the stage. And I don't think you're gonna consider SR character whale category. And after they shower you with 100 of summon in milestone reward in all different kind of events, you're gonna get a huge variety of SR character, and combine that with the free-to-play character that you get like Leon or Dorothy or Linglo, and with the targeted banner, depending on what you want to use in the targeted banner, you can have a very solid core foundation to clear almost every single content that the game has to offer, and the rest will depend on your RNG, whether you have the right SSR potentially to compete in the arena realm. But Sean, the whales are going to stomp me so hard in the arena. Yes, the whales gonna stomp you in every game that you play, almost every game. Unless you're playing chess, then maybe the whales will not have advantage over you. But this is a mobile game, so the whales are going to absolutely destroy you in the early game. However, after the dust settle and the whales have risen to the rank where they deserve, they will be fighting amongst other whales. Gonna be fucking Aquaman battle up there, and whatever rank you are at, you'll be fighting amongst other players that probably spend the same amount of money as you, hopefully. Or you are way smarter for an average free-to-play player, and you're going to be battling the not as carefully played, optimized whale that just want to pull for character, but they don't really know what the hell is going on in the game. And that's where the real, how do I say, the real happiness come through. The moment you picked your SR team that can potentially be maxed out with dupes, because SR dupe are so much easier to get, you will be fighting the non-max dupe Apex animals that don't really have good gear, and you stomp them. That is the best feeling, right? And because I have been trying to play the game a lot over the past couple of days, I was able to clear out most of the free-to-play offering that the game has in the PvP shop. This game is going to be a game where they want you to play the game. They want you to put effort into doing the activities, and those activities are a lot of PvP related, and those activities will heavily reward you with free stuff. This is the Union shop without the United Front content being offered in the game. There is going to be a guild PvP content that is going to offer more guild currency, and even without that, I could buy a whole lot of stuff in the Union shop, and there's no stopping them to add more things into the Union shop. There's also the Arena shop where I bought almost everything in the normal arena. You can even keep buying more stuff to make your progression a bit easier. I've also bought so many things in the Summit arena, which I can still buy more if I want to, but the most important thing is the Apex prototype and the Anima prototype, and also the Perfect Lattice fragment. So I think if you choose to play the game efficiently, with a clear goal in mind, and actually try to progress and get stronger in the game, you're going to get your hands on 90% or maybe 100% of the free-to-play offering that the game has to give in all these shops to catch up to the whale. And because there is a max stamina refresh in the game, there's gonna be a point where the whale will get to where getting an extra speed on any of the maybe speedy character is gonna be very challenging. If you get to like maybe plus 180 to 200 speed, getting a 5 speed upgrade is gonna take them so long, and because they cannot farm endlessly every single day, that's gonna be the time where the low spender and free-to-play player can try to catch up to their speed. And even though speed is super important, there are also countermeasures for you to play if you get outsped, which is usually the worry for low spender or free-to-play player, because they keep getting outsped by the enemy. In the challenge in the model drop, you're going to see that in the Aurora section, if you choose to not go fast, not farm all the speed set in the game, you can still farm the immunity set, the bulwark set in the game, so you can get yourself immunity in the first turn. And this is going to destroy so many speed focused whale in the early game PvP, because they are always focused on Doki Doki. They try to outspeed you, they try to control you with Marvel, with Kraken. But if you go into a fight with full immunity, they're gonna control shit. Like, there's nothing they can do because they don't focus on building AoE stripper. And there's also shell drop that legit is so good, because the shell give you turn meter, the shell give you cleansing ability, so that you can cut in between their control, their damage dealing character, to heal yourself, to provide protection for your team, so that you can survive the control, the outspeed meta of the enemy. And I think the game has this strategic depth in it that the free-to-play and the low spender can also enjoy to be at a very competitive rank of the game. Anyway, in short, I think for a PvP gacha, it is going to be pay to win at the end, no matter what. Every mobile game out there is pay to win. Even though the game doesn't need you to pay to win, people will still pay to win anyway. So that's why for the global launch, I'll be having 2 different accounts. One of them I will spend money on to try to get as many characters as possible, so I can do content showcase for you guys and to build team and to play with everything I have. And then there's going to be another account that's going to be free to play only, and I'll try to play the game like how you should play the game, free to play. I think playing gacha as a free-to-play game is very important for the majority of you guys out there, because I make content for the game. My view for the game will be very different from yours, but I think for every player out there, if you can, you should play all these gacha, gambling, online casino with a free-to-play mindset in mind. Not because you're gonna be superior to other people in any shape or form, it's just that I don't want you guys to start sinking every single dollar you have into a PvP gacha game. It's gonna be a very dangerous slope. I have witnessed many players who play PvP gacha game, no matter how free-to-play friendly the game might look, it will be a dangerous slope. The moment you start sliding into the paying part of the game, you're not going to stop. And I'm trying my best to convince the game producer to lower the need for this ridiculous amount of currency to upgrade character so we can enjoy the game a little bit more fully and potentially introduce more way for free-to-play player to earn summoning currency, which is what a lot of you guys are after for anyway. Hopefully I can make some influence, but who knows, right? Who the fuck do I think I am? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.